Hello my beautiful babes out there, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for watching today. But in today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup collection slash declutter with all of my complexion products. So my foundations, primers, setting powders, and concealers. So if you're interested in seeing what's in my collection and what I'm going to get rid of, then keep on watching. Alright lovelies, I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back. I just want to say thank you to those who participated in my community posts. A lot of you seem to be interested in declutter videos and fashion related videos, so I'm working on that. There will be more declutter videos coming as well as fashion videos. Now I will leave that post up for those of you that didn't see it and didn't get a chance to participate. It will be up there on my community tab if you want to, participate in the poll, or you can leave recommendations in the comments below, because I definitely want to post videos that you guys are interested in seeing. Also, if you are new here and you like fashion, makeup, beauty, and all that fun stuff, please hit that subscribe button and join this little family we got going on. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you are notified every time I post a video. And I also want to preface this, guys, my complexion collection is pretty big. I love foundations and primers. I just go crazy. I love trying new ones. So my collection has grown to an amount that shouldn't be there. Like, there's just too many and I need to get rid of some of them. But just know that nobody needs as much makeup. I'm just a makeup lover and I love foundations and complexion products, so that's why it's gotten so big. But anyways guys, let's get into this makeup collection and declutter. Alright, so starting off with setting powders. I'm probably not going to get rid of any of these because a lot of them I haven't even opened yet, and setting powders and pressed powders are very important to my makeup set, especially because I have oily skin and I need this to set down my makeup and keep things more matte. So the first thing I have here is the Puff Puff Pass Set and Bake Powder from Kimchi Chic. I've actually used this a couple times. I do like it. It's a pretty heavy setting powder and it's definitely more for like stage makeup. This is the shade Banana, so it's a brightening powder and it definitely does that, but I do really like it, so I'm holding on to this. Or I shouldn't even have to say that since I'm keeping all of these. Okay, so then I have the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder. I've actually used a lot of this already. This is the one I'm using right now. It's a decent setting powder. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good for what it is, and the cost of it is pretty cheap, so I actually do like this powder. And then here's this powder from Ciate London. This is the Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I haven't tried this actually, but I got this in a BoxyCharm and I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I have the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I've never used this. It is still unopened. I think I bought this during like a Ulta sale event, so I definitely have to try that out. I'm just one of those people that don't like to have multiple setting powders open. I like to just finish it all at once. Then I have this one right here from Dermablend. This is their loose setting powder, and this is an original. And I haven't tried this, but I've seen so many good reviews about this, and I think this used to be like a cult classic for a lot of people, so I can't wait to try this out as well. Here I have the Peach Perfect setting powder from Too Faced, and this is my holy grail, my most favorite setting powder that I own. It is so good at mattifying the skin, especially if you have oily skin and you want something to help your makeup last. You want to keep the shine away. This is like the best stuff ever from Too Faced. I like the peachy scent. Oh, I just love this thing, and I see that it's been on sale, so I'm afraid that they might be discontinuing this powder, so I'm gonna have to go and buy some backups for sure. And then I have this loose little e.l.f. powder. This is like a little banana powder, like brightening powder, and I just use this on the eyes, and it's actually pretty nice. It's really soaky. It does brighten and set my concealer, so I'm gonna finish this up. So the next powder is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. This has never been used. It's still unopened. I also got this from Ulta during a sale, and I haven't tried it yet because I've been trying to finish so many setting powders, so eventually I will get to this one. And then here are my two pressed powders. Typically I go more for loose setting powders, but every now and then I like to use a pressed setting powder, especially if I'm traveling or want to put this in my makeup bag in my purse for going to work and stuff. But this is the one from It Cosmetics. This is the Bye Bye Pore pressed powder, and I've actually never used this either. I did also get this from an Ulta sale, so I haven't gotten an opportunity to try this yet, but I've heard really good things about this powder. And then I have this Pure powder. I think it's called the 4-in-1 pressed mineral makeup powder. I think this is in the shade medium. Yeah, this one is a tinted setting powder, and I haven't used this either. This is new to my collection, so I'll have to give that a try. But sometimes I do like to use tinted powders in case I want to add some color to like a lighter foundation, or maybe correct a color on a foundation. So that's why I always have at least one tinted pressed powder. But that was it for all of my setting powders and pressed powders. Let's move on to concealers. All right, so these are all of my like concealers, or I have one like kind of contour stick in here, but I think I'm gonna hold on to most of these. So I have the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. I haven't tried this yet. I got it in a BoxyCharm. I heard really good things about this, so I can't wait to try this out. Then I have this one from e.l.f. This is the 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and I do use this. It's a super full coverage concealer, and I do think it's a pretty decent concealer for how affordable it is and how full coverage you get from this. So I really do like this. Then I have this. This is the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I have never tried this concealer before. Of course, this is like a cult classic for most people, a super full coverage concealer, so I have to give this a try. I think I picked this up during a sale at Ulta, so I don't know how I feel about this yet, so I'm holding on to this. Then I have this right here, and this is from Prestige. I got this in a BoxyCharm. This was their Conceal, Coverage, and Correct Crown and Bis. I'm actually going to let this go. I don't feel like it gives enough coverage. I feel like it kind of creases like crazy, and then I tried to use this as like a shadow base since the color is pretty good for like a base for shadows, but it makes your shadows crease. It's not the best for that either, so I'm gonna let this go because I probably would not use it ever again. So yes, I got one away, and then the rest I'm keeping. So I have this from Colourpop. This is their No Filter Concealer. I've used this concealer many times. This is a backup to my other ones that I've used up. I'm just trying to finish the ones that I currently have open up first before I crack into this one. Oh, it's starting to separate. But anyways, I'm gonna hold on to this one. Then I have this one from Juvia's Place, which I haven't tried ever before, so I don't know how I feel about this, but I heard it's like a very full coverage concealer, so I'll have to see. Hopefully the color is right. For some reason, their like complexion products are hard for me to find a good shade. Then I have this one right here. This is the Trick and Treat Concealer from Hey Honey. This I got in a BoxyCharm. I haven't tried it yet. I imagine that this is probably going to be more of a lightweight concealer, but I'll have to give this one a try. Then I have this one from Kimchi Chic, the Most Concealer, and this is super full coverage. Now this is not the perfect shade for me, and it's kind of light, and it doesn't work too well with me. Even if I'm super pale, like at my palest, it's still too light and over brightening. So I'm actually going to let this go because of the shade. I think I need to get a darker shade in this. Yeah, but it is a good concealer besides that. And then I have this little contour and brighten stick, and I actually really like this. It's super blendable, it's super creamy. There's a contour side, and then there's a highlighting side. This is from Pure, and I use this a lot, so I'm not letting that go. Then I have the Pretty Fresh Concealer from Colourpop. Yet again, I have yet to try this, and it's just sitting in my collection waiting to be used. But this is what it looks like. It's a hydrating concealer. I heard great things about this as well. So I can't wait to use this. All right, here are all of my primers. And this is definitely too much for one person to own. I mean, primer takes forever to finish up, and I only have one face, so I need to get rid of some of these. There's definitely some primers in here that I never reach for, but let's just get into it. So the first thing I have here is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. I actually really like this. I love how it smells, and I think it does a great job at mattifying, so I'm definitely not letting this go. Then I have this right here. This is the No Problem Primer from Touch in Sol, and this is actually really good, especially for smoothing the skin. Now, it's not the most mattifying, but if you want to have like a smooth canvas, this does a really good job at doing that. So I'm holding on to this. All right, on to the next one. This is the Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil from Wander Beauty, and I'm actually going to give this one away or just get rid of it if nobody wants it. I don't like to use oil-based products before I put on my foundation because I am an oily skin type and that just doesn't help me stay shine free, so I never use this, and I'm just not into illuminating primer, so I'm going to let this go. Okay, here is the Glow Unicorn Longwear Primer. I'm definitely going to let this go. It was like a little mini sample. It's not that great. I tried it a couple times, so this needs to go. Here's another one that I'm going to let go. This is the Yansa Tone Up Primer Essential Glow. Like I said, I do not like illuminating primers. They're just not my friend. I have textured skin, so I don't like to emphasize that any more than it already is, and I just don't like this kind of style primer, so I'm going to give this one away. I have the blurring primer from Cover FX, and it definitely does a great job at blurring the skin and filling up pores and making your face look like a smooth canvas, so I'm going to hold on to this. Here's the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. This is my holy grail, my most favorite primer of all time, so this is not going anywhere. I love this stuff. It's so good if you have oily skin. So here's the No Problem Prime Essence from Touch in Sol. I'm actually going to get rid of this one as well because it's just not my kind of primer. It's more of a hydrating, kind of illuminating primer. It's super watery. It doesn't really fill up my pores at all. I don't notice it doing any of that, so this is going to go. I have this from Laura Geller. This is the Spackle Treatment Makeup Primer, the mattifying version. I've used most of this up, and it was a pretty decent primer. It's one of those silicone primers that are great at like smoothing out the skin. I don't know if it was the most mattifying, but I definitely got a lot of use out of this, so it is time to let this go. I have this Base Tape Hydrating Primer sample. I'm probably never going to use this because, like I said, I don't typically reach for hydrating primer, so I'm going to give this away. I have the No Pores No More Primer from Dr. Brandt. I think this is really good at mattifying, filling up your pores, and I really like this primer, so I'm going to hold on to this. Then I have this one from Dr. Brandt as well. This is their Illuminating Primer, and like I said, I don't like illuminating primer, so I'm going to give this one away to someone who has more of a drier skin type. Alright, so here's the Ole Hendrickson Banana Bright Face Primer. I actually like this, even though it's a more hydrating primer. I like to use this as like a lightweight moisturizer. I love how it smells. I think it just does a nice job at hydrating the skin but not over hydrating. So I will use this alone or on like the perimeters of my face that don't get as oily as like my T-zone. So I'm holding on to this. Alright, so here is this primer from Pure. This is the 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. I haven't tried this yet. I recently got it in a BoxyCharm, so I want to try it first before I decide whether I want to let it go or not. Alright, so here's the Cover FX Gripping Primer, and this definitely is a gripping primer. It's like glue for your foundation. It makes the skin super tacky, and it does a great job at making makeup last really long on the face, so I'm going to hold on to this. So here is the Covergirl True Blend Pore Minimizing Skin Primer. I actually really like this. It's similar in the texture to, I think, the Hourglass Mineral Veil. It smells nice. It's really good at smoothing, so I'm going to hold on to this, and it's super affordable. Okay, so here is the Colourpop All-Star Matte Primer. I actually really like this. It does help smooth the skin. It does make the skin a little bit more matte. It's not super mattifying, but I do like the texture, and it's very lightweight, so I'm going to hold on to this. So this is the Porefessional Hydrate Primer from Benefit, and I actually like this. This is really pore smoothing. Even though it's a hydrating primer, it definitely smooths the skin out, so I do like it. For that, I will go in with this and then put something mattifying over it, so I'm going to hold on to this a little longer. The last few, so I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is pretty decent. It's a travel size, so I'm going to actually finish this up. I use it more like a lightweight moisturizer. Here is the Illamasqua Hydroveil. I've never tried this. I definitely want to. I'll probably use this more as like a gel moisturizer, but look at the texture. I'm so fascinated by this. I've heard really good things about this, so I'm probably going to just use this as a moisturizer before I use primer. Then I have these two, which I guess they're not really primers, but I had them with my primers. These are the Prime and Fine Makeup Transforming Drops. This is what I use to lighten like foundations and darken, but these are so old and I never think to reach for these because I just end up mixing different foundations to make the right color for me. So I'm going to let them go. All right, the last primer, I almost forgot about this one. This is the Porefessional Matte Rescue Primer from Benefit. This is actually more of a product you use before you go into primer. It's supposed to help make the skin even more matte. I don't really feel like it does that. I just used it because I had it, but it's an added step to my makeup routine and I already have enough steps in that. So I'm gonna let this go because I just don't really think it does what it says it's going to do. Okay guys, I almost forgot to mention these two primers as well. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Refiner. I'm gonna actually let this go. It was a pretty good primer, but I've had it for a long time, so I need to let it go. And then I have this one from Versailles. This is the Liquid Powder Oil Balancing Serum. This is another holy grail of mine. This is one of the best primers if you have oily skin and you wanna keep the shine away, you wanna keep it more matte. This is my go-to besides the Hourglass Mineral Veil, so this is also staying in my collection. So here are all the primers I'm getting rid of. I had 26 primers in total and I'm getting rid of 11 of them. So almost half of my primers are going, and that is pretty good. Probably the best I've done with all of the things in my collection. So yeah, let's go on to the next stuff. All right guys. So I'm definitely not proud of this. I have an excessive amount of foundations and tinted moisturizers, and I need to get rid of some of this stuff because nobody needs this much foundation at all. Like, I have one face and these things do expire, so I need to get rid of as much as I can out of this. I'm probably not gonna do that well because I've got attachment issues, so let's just jump into this. So for sure, I know I'm not getting rid of these. These are my holy grails. This is from Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear Foundation. I have two shades for when I'm my lightest and when I'm my most tan. And then if I'm in between, I just mix these two. But this is what I wear to events. This is long wearing, mattifying. This is so good if you have oily skin or if you want full coverage or you're gonna go to a long event where you need your makeup to last all day. Like, these are the best. I think this is like so many people's holy grail. So this is going nowhere. So I have this from Uma Beauty. This is the Say What Weightless Soft Matte Foundation. I actually like this. It's a more natural foundation. It's not the most long wearing, but I do like it. It's not the most perfect shade either, but I'm gonna hold on to this because I do like using it, and look how dirty that is. Oh, I'm such a dirty girl. All right, so holding on to this. Then I have this from Lancome. This is a Tint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation. This is really good also for oily skin. It's a good shade for me right now. And overall, I just really like this foundation, so I'm gonna hold on to that. Here is the Dior Forever 24-Hour High Perfection Skin Caring Foundation with sunscreen. Actually, I didn't even realize this had sunscreen, which is SPF 35. But this is my perfect shade right now when I am my most fair. It's more of like a luminous matte. It's not the most long wearing or mattifying foundation, but I do like it. And I like it even more that I found out there's SPF in this, so I'm gonna hold on to this. All right, guys, it is time for me to let this go. This is from Hourglass. This is the Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. This was a liquid version of the stick foundation, and it was just not very good. It's super full coverage, but it doesn't spread well, and this shade is terrible for me. It gets really cakey super fast, and it doesn't last very well. And it doesn't do very well with my oily skin. It gets so shiny and just turns into a big oil slick on my face, so I have to let this go. It was so expensive, so I kept holding on to it and trying to make it work, but I need to say goodbye. All right, so that brings me over to the stick foundation from Hourglass. I actually really like this. It's probably the best stick foundation that I own, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Speaking of stick foundations, I'll probably just finish up with these. This is the Milk Makeup Flex Stick in medium. I actually really like this. It's a decent stick foundation and it lasts pretty well on the skin, so I'm gonna hold on to this. But I'm gonna get rid of these two. So I have the Juvia's Place, what is this called? I don't know, their foundation, and it's okay. It's just not my favorite. It doesn't last very well on the skin. And then this is the Photo Focus Stick Foundation from Wet n Wild. This actually does a pretty good job at hanging on to the skin, but I just never think to reach for it. So these are both going. Okay, so here is from Clinique. This is the Even Better Makeup Broad Spectrum 15. I actually really like this. I use this more when I'm most tan. And if you hear scratchy noise in the background, that is Mojito on the scratching pose. But I'm gonna hold on to this. So here is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I'm actually gonna let this go. It's not the best color for me, and it's just okay. And I never think to reach for it ever, so it's time for this to go. Here is the Catrice Cosmetics All Matte Plush Sign Control Makeup. I've had this forever. It's decent, but this is old. It's probably expired and I need to stop using old makeup, so I'm going to get rid of this. Here is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I love this foundation. It's actually pretty good for oily skin. It's more on the thinner side. You gotta build it up, but it looks flawless on the skin. It lasts really well, and it just feels so luxe, like this packaging and everything. So I'm definitely keeping this. Here is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Foundation, and I actually really like this. This is perfect for me right now. It's more of like a natural luminous matte finish, and it wears really nicely on the skin. I like how it looks, like the finish and everything, so I'm going to keep this. So here is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and I'm actually gonna let this go. I don't think it's as great as people hyped it up to be, and I never think to use this ever, so it's time to go. All right, so here is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I'm gonna get rid of this. I hate the smell of this, and it's overall a good foundation, but it feels like I'm putting paint on my face every time I use this, so it has to go. Here is the Purlisse Perfect Glow BB Cream in SPF 30. I actually really like this, especially for days that I want something super lightweight, or I'm just gonna be running errands and I'm not gonna wear my makeup very long, so I'm going to hold on to this. Okay, so here is the Wonder Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. It's a nice foundation. It's not the best foundation. It's more of a glowy, hydrating one, so it doesn't last very long on me, but it's not my favorite, so I'm going to pass this on or just get rid of it. So here is the Pure 4-in-1 Tinted Moisturizer. I just got this in BoxyCharm, so I haven't used it yet, so I want to give it a try before I decide whether I want to keep it or not. Alright, so here's the Tint Guard 20 from Tarte. This is a tinted moisturizer, and I've used this a lot. I used to travel with this all the time, especially if I was going somewhere that was more hot and sunny, and I used to just use this to even out the skin, and I like that it had some SPF. But it is time to let this go. I've had it for a very long time, and it's probably old and expired, so I'm going to toss this. Okay, so I have these three. I don't even know why I have three of these. These are from Catrice. This is the Liquid Coverage Foundation. I'm actually going to let go this one. This is Warm Beige. I've had this for a while, and it's probably expired, and these are a little newer to my collection. These are just lighter shades or more neutral shades, and this one was a little dark for me, so I'm going to toss this and keep these two. Here is the Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation, and I'm actually going to get rid of this. I have these two from Colourpop. This is the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. I have two shades for like when I'm tan and more of a lighter complexion, and I really like this. This is so nice, and it's been something I've been using a lot because I just like the finish. It's lightweight and it looks really nice on the skin. It doesn't last long, but for those short days where I'm just running errands, I like to reach for these. Okay, so here is the Skin Love foundation from Becca. I'm actually gonna let this go. It's decent. It's more of a hydrating foundation, and the shade is just not right for me. It seems to oxidize a little, so it's too dark. When I wear it, I definitely see a line every time I wear this, like down my neck, so I need to let this go. Okay, so here's the L'Oreal Freshware foundations. I love these. They're really nice on the skin. They have a kind of luminous matte finish. They just look flawless, and this is probably the best foundation you can find in the drugstore, so I'm definitely keeping these. Here are the healthy foundations from Physicians Formula, and I actually really like these. For being a hydrating foundation, these actually look so pretty and healthy on the skin, and I just love like the natural glow it gives me, and I'll use this on light days or if I'm just filming, so I'm gonna keep these. Here's the Natasha Dedona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. I really like this. This is new to my collection, and it just wears so well on the skin, and it's great at keeping me matte. So I'm holding on to this, and I do have another one of these. When I ordered this, the company actually sent me 2 of them on accident, but they just told me to hold on to the extra one, so I have a backup. But if I can find someone to give this to that's like similar to my complexion, I will probably end up letting it go, but for now I'm gonna keep both of these. Okay, so here's the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation. I'm keeping this. This is so good if you have oily skin. It has a powder finish to it, and it's just so good, so I'm keeping this. I have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light Hydra Makeup, and this is really good. It's a soft matte. It's just perfect, especially for my complexion right now. It's like the perfect shade, so I'm keeping that. Here is the Zoeva Authentic Skin Natural Luminous Foundation. I would say that this is more of a luminous matte. It has the prettiest finish, and it wears on my skin really nicely, and I love this. This is so good from Zoeva. I'm definitely keeping this. Here is the Cover FX Power Play foundation. I really like this. This is also a really good foundation if you have oily skin. It definitely wears long. It's more matte on the skin, and this shade is also too dark for me right now. This is more of my summer shade, so I'm going to hold on to this and get some use out of it in the summer. All right, here is a newer foundation to me too. This is from KVD Beauty. This is their True Portrait Liquid to Powder Foundation, and it is definitely a liquid to powder. Once you put it on the skin, it totally transforms into a powder finish, and I really like this. This is great for oily skin, so I'm going to use this more and hold on to it. Here's the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. This is also another favorite of mine. It is so full coverage, it's long lasting, it's great for oily skin, and I just really love this stuff, so keeping this. Here's the Naked Skin Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This is so good. This is so good for oily skin. It wears all day. It stays shine free for a very long time, and it's super mattifying, so I'm never letting this go. Here is the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer from Colourpop. I like this a lot too, especially for those light days where I don't want any heavy makeup on and I just want to even out my skin tone, so I'm holding on to this. I also have this Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen. This has a tint to it, and I often wear this under makeup just for the SPF aspect of it, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Here's the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is also really good. I love this. This is also great for oily skin, so I'm keeping this. Here is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is also one of my holy grails. This is so good for oily skin. It's great at keeping the skin matte, so this is going nowhere. Then I have all these IT Cosmetics foundations. This is the matte version of the CC Cream, great for oily skin. Love this stuff, so I'm keeping all of these. I have the Bye Bye foundation. This is a more full coverage foundation, and I like this one. I love that it has SPF 50, and then I just have a lighter shade in it, so these are staying. And then I have this one, which is new. I haven't tried it yet. This is the oil-free matte version of the Bye Bye foundation, so I want to give this a try and see the difference between the regular Bye Bye foundation, so holding on to this. Alright, so I also have the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. I think this is kind of old. It's a great foundation from the drugstore. It's super full coverage. But I'm gonna let this go because I just have too many foundations and I just need to get rid of more stuff. And then I have this one from Winky Lux. This is the Tinted Veil. This is really nice. I like it because it's a tinted moisturizer and it's super lightweight, but I have a lot of those in my collection that I love more than this, so I'm going to actually let this one go as well. And then I have this one from IPKN. This is the Moist and Firm Beauty Balm. I was going to keep this at first, but I'm going to let this go as well. I like other tinted moisturizers in my collection, and I don't need this, and I have too much. Then I have the Nabla Close Up Foundation. This is a natural finish. It wears really nice in the skin. It's a perfect shade for me right now, and I use this quite often, so I'm keeping this. And then the last one in my collection, I'm actually going to let this go. This is the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation from Juvia's Place. This is such extreme full coverage, but the shade is just terrible on me. It leans super yellow. I think it was described as a neutral toned foundation, but this just does not match my complexion at all. And it's not the most shine-free foundation. Like, I definitely get oily with this, and it can look cakey if you use too much because it's just so intense on the coverage. So I'm going to get rid of this. I almost thought I was done, but I always seem to forget one. This is from JCat. This is a powder foundation. This is the Aquassurance, and I'm gonna keep this. This is actually a really nice powder, and I've already hit pan on it. I like to use this to set makeup or to wear alone on those days where I don't really want to put on a foundation. I'll just go in with some powder and concealer, so I'm keeping this one as well. All right, so this is all the foundations I'm getting rid of. This is not enough because in total I had 55. I know some of the foundations I have more than one shade in them, but that is just so crazy. But right here I have 16 that I'm getting rid of, so that is better than nothing. It's better than keeping all of them on hand. So with that leaves me with 39 foundations left. So I'm gonna hold on to those, and maybe I will get rid of more. I need to, but for now I'm keeping them. So here we go. That was all of my foundations. Alright guys, that was the end of this makeup collection slash declutter. I was able to get rid of at least half of my primers and about a fourth of my foundations, which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing, right? It's better than just letting all those things sit and collect dust. And it also helped remind me that I have so many amazing, beautiful things in my collection that I need to use more and just get my money's worth out of them. It just reminds me that I don't always have to keep buying new all the time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you doing a declutter and starting fresh for the new year? I just love hearing from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you like fashion, makeup, beauty, and all that fun stuff, then hit that subscribe button and join this little family we got going on. And don't forget to check out the description below. I'll have other declutter videos and other makeup videos that you might be interested in watching, as well as my contact information. I am on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle, and then I created a second Instagram page called Breezy_beauty, where I'm gonna put makeup looks and beauty shots and just all that fun makeup stuff. So I would love for you to check out my Instagram pages and join that family over there as well. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. But that was everything guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and just hanging out with me for just a bit. I really love having you guys here. So I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you love and light. But until next time, bye guys.